on teammate Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, Blaney was working the bottom lane on some lap cars.
Trouble, turn 3.
Yikes!
No. Get around the corner. All right, clear.
Good. Trevor Bayne went around. He got turned. And as Chris Buescher slid up the racetrack, there was Ryan Blaney.
Good job today, brother. Nothing you can do about it.
What a shame. What a great race car. What a great job, McMurray. He's got a lot of damage to his car.
Harrison Rhodes also involved.
They go 3 wide. Chris Buescher goes to the outside.
51 kind of caught in the middle. And,
yeah, Bayne just didn't know Buescher was on the outside.
Yep. Ooh.
Blaney just know where to go as Rhodes slides up the racetrack. He kind of went to the bottom of the 12, and I think that actually paid off. There's the contact between Trevor Bayne and Chris Buescher. I think because Keselowski started to go to the bottom of the 12 of Blaney, it put him in a much better lane to avoid that.
Yep.
I believe Bayne would have been the free pass car, but since he's in the middle of it.
What a shame.
Yep.
What a shame.
Ryan Newman up the middle.
Oh my gosh, how many cars can go in that turn at one?
Larson.
Four wide. Oh no.
And into the wall.
No.
Goes Kurt Busch and Truex and more. Bowyer all torn up. Keselowski.
Mercy.
Oh, overtime.
Well, we know as we get closer to those $1 million in that last lap.
Well, how many rows of 4 wide can you fit in turn 3?
The intensity picks up and you just stop giving and start taking.
Look at this. Here we are. 4 wide.
How crazy is that? We're talking about 4 wide at Charlotte in the All-Star race.
Still 4 wide.
Then
Stenhouse gets into 78. 78 gets into 14, and it's on from there.
Like I said, no give. You know, there's just at this moment when you start to get down to this part of the race, nobody gives an inch.
Want to ride with Martin Truex? I would say not really, but let's.
You're 4 wide. Still 4, still 3. Hold it right here now. 17's inside.
I mean, there may have been 6 inches that he could have moved to the right, but other than that, there's really not much Martin Truex Jr. could have done different.
You know what? The best speeding penalty someone could have gotten lately may have just gone to the 48 car on that last go-round because he was so far back he didn't even get in it.
So 17 into 78 into 14 into the 3 into the 41 into the 18 into the 2. Be easier to tell you who was not involved.
Keep it on.
Going to ride along with our Fox Visor cam, Kurt Busch.
Ride just 1 now. Very top of the 48. Top of 3. Stay low, stay in the gas. Stay low, stay in the gas. Stay low. Right in front of us. Coming to you.
Crash back straightaway. Eric Jones up into Jamie McMurray, who collects Trevor Bayne in the 6, and it's on.
Oh,
hard
Bayne, a
left
hard
side hit.
Martin Truex involved. Kyle Larson. And we're under caution.
You saw McMurray. You'll see him. He gets involved in this. It almost looked like his wreck from Friday. Starts off that way.
Right across into Truex. And then Bayne in the 6 to the inside barrier. It's Eric Almirola climbing out. Here he is on the right side of the screen. See what happens here.
Jimmy drops out of line after they come through the trial, but he realizes he has a problem. It looked like the car got pretty loose right there. As he moves down, I believe he blows a left rear tire, sends him into Eric Almirola. Daniel Suarez has to avoid him, spins to the infield. I think other than some tires, Daniel might be okay. Heavy damage to the 48 of Jimmy Johnson.
All right, let's turn up our Fox Visor cam and show you what Daniel Suarez saw.
Half back to the 43.
Great job, great instincts to be able to turn to the left. He saw the corner of his eye, Jimmy Johnson having a problem and turning back into the field and avoided him.
Eric Almirola from his rear bumper.
Still the same here. 178, back down, back down.
Absolutely nothing that Eric Almirola could do any different to avoid that.
And we'll ride along with the 7-time champion of this series, Jimmie Johnson.
He gets a little loose right there. He checks up. Oh, you can hear it pop.
I heard that
just
pop.
Heard it pop.
He felt it. He felt it. Backed off, got down low, but when it popped, it just went left.
Now, I don't know if you know, he ran something over, but these cars are down.
The sandwich in between 3 fast Chevrolets too. 88, 9, 48.
Oh, they're spinning.
Oh, Menard up and into Bowyer, into the wall. Gets collected by McDowell.
Oh, no,
Keselowski crashes, and more cars are littered at the bottom of the racetrack.
Guys, I think that somebody may have gotten loose and got either into Jimmie Johnson or his car got loose and came down. You can see us. Oh, I don't know. I think that's the 48 as a right front fender. The 24 got close to the left rear, just pushed that air in that left rear and brought it around.
Wow. Gray Gaulding shoots the middle and makes it. Wow. And they just keep piling up.
Wow. Unbelievable. You see Bubba there on the right of the screen. Don't think he hit anything.
So you see the 24 starts coming up. Look, it just seems like the air changed and allowed that 48 to just get loose.
Yeah, the 48 and the 24, I think the 24 may have gotten on the brakes and that caused his car to get loose. But I don't know what happened to Johnson. That thing just turned sideways. And I've seen that time and time again up there in turn 3.
Casey Kane shoots through the black car with the yellow number on top.
That is, oh my gosh, it just takes your breath right out of you.
And you can see the cords and the tread just come apart, and that's what goes up through the hood. Bam. Wow, look at the angle.
Kyle, talk to us, bud. Yeah, that was lovely. All right, jump forward. Just take your time here. Take your time. What a hit that was.
You know what? Yeah, look at that right. Yeah, you see the
it
hood
already
start to flap. That's usually the tire coming to pieces.
That's violent.
I think it almost, I don't know if it did knock a hole in that wall. That thing hit.
Big hit by Jamie McMurray. Into the wall he goes. Catches the 9 of Chase Elliott. McMurray sliding up the track. Now back down into the traffic.
All you got.
But McMurray and the back end of that car gone. Window net is down. And look at the damage to Chase Elliott.
Wow. Worried about. Pretty significant contact right there. Wow, man, that's a big hit. So, I'm assuming that cut the right rear tire. It's got a big tire rub now.
And you see some wisps of smoke out of the right rear. Now, right here, look at this, to the bottom, and watch how quick this car turns around and up the racetrack.
Chase Elliott just absolutely nowhere to go. Somebody sitting at home saying, why didn't he just turn left? Well, the cars don't turn that quickly. You cannot get it slowed down and turn left quick enough to avoid that. You can see how quick the one goes around from this shot. And there's Chase. He knows it's coming. There's just absolutely nothing he can do.
Yeah, just like Eric Jones earlier today. The speed of these cars in the corner and the grip that this track, or the lack of the grip this track has, there's nothing you can do.
And the more you try to slow down with the brakes, the less it'll turn. It's just sometimes there's nothing you can do, and that was the case with Chase Elliott.
And we have seen some big impacts all week in the Xfinity race, had some hard wrecks, and this hit by the one is a huge wreck.
One of the things I want to say about that is the safety that NASCAR has to keep these cars from catching on fire. I mean, that was a very direct hit to the fuel cell, the back of that car, and no fire. And so
just waiting for whichever line. Huge push. And around goes a 2. Too big of a push. He caught the 41.
the big one.
Logano's caught up in it.
Oh, my goodness.
Denny Hamlin. Austin Dillon has damage. Daniel Suarez trying to avoid. Ty Dillon sliding in. A wreck 22 of Joey Logano sitting on the apron. A wreck 2.
All the Penske cars right there. The one organization that everybody came here thinking they had the best shot to win
all three of their cars wiped out in this accident. We're getting pretty aggressive here, and Ricky was pushing him and also turning down the racetrack, and that was enough to turn the two-car around. It's just so much happening right there, and they were coming up on Williams so fast that I believe Brad was sort of throttling down a little bit because he was going to run to the back of the 24, because you see the 24 blocking here. So Brad's probably throttling down a little bit, and Stenhouse coming across the nose.
Yeah, so right here, the 17. Watch the 17 when he gets into the rear bumper. Right there, hits him in the right rear, and that's what sends him. We talked about that earlier. That's where you want to bump draft somebody. You want to bump them in the right rear. But when you do that, and the speed's wrong, and it's misaligned, and also he's turning left, then that literally just shoves the left rear bumper to the inside of the car, and it shoots the nose straight to the wall.
We've seen this generation of car. These guys, their bumpers don't line up all that great. We don't never see these guys lock bumpers like they used to, or like we see in the Xfinity Series. So anytime they make a push, they got to be careful. And that was incredibly, there's just so much happening there, as you see, running up on William Byron so fast.
Look who gets through. The 31 of Ryan Newman, the 18 of Kyle Busch. But after that, everyone fighting to find some type of incredible run by Kyle Busch.
Oh,
the 18 teaming out into the back of the 78. Martin Truex Jr. slamming into the wall. He hits again. Contact made. Kyle Busch got to the back of the 78. The 78 spins and brings out the caution once again. Also involved the 7 of J.J. Yaley. And there we see J.J. Yaley able to just squeeze out of the driver's side of that car right up against the wall.
Let's take a look at the replay here. Coming off turn 4, Kyle Busch. Truex taking it. Kind of come down the track a little bit, but really didn't turn into the 18 car.
J.J. Yaley just trying to get by. Nothing he could do. Watching the 78 come right across the racetrack. Huge impact.
Yeah, that angle into the inside wall is an odd one and a tough one. Just barely touches him there.
Yeah, Martin's not going to be happy with that. I don't think Kyle did it on purpose by any means, but certainly coming off turn 4 and thinking the 78 was going to leave a little higher up the racetrack.
Inside quarter. Hang on to it, hang on to it, hang on to it.
Oh.
Damn it. Hang on, hang on, hang on.
Just hard wrecks. Even at short tracks going 100, 115 miles an hour, those are hard shots.
Now, Steve, we heard earlier as the window net's coming down for the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., we heard earlier teams mentioning they had 4-lap scuffs. Are they better than what's on now? And who makes that call to come down to pit road if you're running in the top 10?
Well, I think if you were going to pit, you would have had to do it on the the caution before. That was such a short run. I think all these guys, all the leaders, they're going to stay on the racetrack. We see Ricky Stenhouse climb out of his automobile. It kind of stacked up. Paul Menard's on new tires here, the 47. I don't know if the 17 just got loose. I can't tell if there was contact the first time. Definitely the second time.
Yeah, it just looked like 17 got loose on the nose of that car. Oh, Allmendinger, I don't think really got into him.
Yeah, Allmendinger didn't get into him to start it by any means. Big impact, though.
Yeah. When I was watching it live, that bright yellow 21 there at the bottom, it just misses the accident. Rick, you mentioned new tires. He did put sticker tires on.
On the inside, Larson on the outside. Back up through the gears they go. A little shove from Martin Truex Jr. And too hard through one. Keselowski, Larson both into the wall. They pile up in the Tubbs heartburn turn. Caution coming out again. Trevor Bayne in the 6 also in.
Understanding the grip, you have to trust that the car, even they just
the 21, the 18. So we've had a lot of laps without a restart through that turn.
See Brad Keselowski, they all launched really well. Nobody really spinning their wheels much. Brad's in trouble right there. He knows he's in trouble, got the left front locked up, and now just nowhere for these guys to go. I think even the 18, he was in too deep.
A lot of guys really did have a lot of trouble getting out of the corner. That is so strange to have so many cars.
Big push coming from Elliott and Keselowski. Contact! Elliott slam into the wall.
Are you kidding me?
Danica Patrick, Casey Kane.
Oh, man.
You all right? Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, took the wind out of Chase Elliott.
Yeah, that was
Elliott, Kane, here's
violent.
Danica Patrick and Kevin Harvick.
Hard to see from that angle.
I just think Keselowski went up there and he got that good push. He got the push from this. I think the 78 was behind him. He dives down. He's going to, and Chase sees him and tries to block him.
Yeah, the 2 starts to make a move. The 9 reacts. They make contact.
It's on from there.
Both of them around.
I know where that lucky horseshoe is that Kevin Harvick used to have. It's riding in Trevor Bayne's fire suit. He narrowly misses another one. Here are the cars that were.
Once they get the white flag, the next flag will call it the 14 around. Bowyer into the wall. The caution comes out just before they get to the start-finish line.
Some big impacts.
Bayne caught up, as is Bubba Wallace. Brendan Gaughan also in this. The 48 of Jimmy Johnson, Trevor Bayne. A lot of damage to Jimmy Johnson's car. Ross Chastain, major damage to the 15. Overtime rules. You have to get back to take the white flag for it to be a complete race. Otherwise, they'll try again. This time the caution came out just before Martin Truex Jr. got to the finish line. And we see Jimmy Johnson climbing out of the window.
There you see Clint Bowyer and Bubba Wallace. Clint's on the inside. Bubba's got a little tire rub there, but he's shoving and he just turns, pushing so hard. And Clint was moving around on the front bumper. And it hooked him into the wall. That's just real aggressive bunt drafting. Here's from the 43 roof cam. And he just turned him sideways there, hooked him bad. That's just really aggressive pushing. Really aggressive bump drafting, which is what's going to happen at the end of these races.
And right there you see Bubba's pushing the 14, and the 14 moved to the left, and when he did, now he's pushing him on the extreme right rear of the bumper, and just like the wreck we saw earlier in the race, it just turns the car directly head on into the wall. And you know, when you're pushing somebody, how you are pushing them is so important. You have to have everybody has got to be lined up, and the most effective way is on that right rear, but if you get misaligned just a touch, boom, that's what happens. It just yanks it to the right. Trevor Bayne with a big hit, too.
Yeah, remember, these cars going over 180 miles an hour. Hard impact into the wall.
Yeah, guys, you mentioned this is how it starts. The 14 gets turned, big impact. But look at Jimmy Johnson come in. He's at the top of the screen. He hits the wall. Then he's into Clint Bowyer, and he starts to turn left. He's going to basically come right at me. We talked about the pit box being in the center of the action. Well, this is another shot for the 48. And at this point, he's just along for the ride. But you see why NASCAR doesn't use these last 3 pit stalls anymore. This is basically pit stall 2. I'm 1 pit stall to his left.
Oh my goodness.
Eric Jones, backstretch chicane, Steve.
Let me guess what he hit.
Wow. That's big.
Now, he's already made contact a couple times. So he's fine. But
He's okay. My goodness. See what happens, Steve.
There's a car in front of them.
Oh, took a peek there around Ryan Newman, and
there's no real estate.
Oh, man. He again. Holy Toledo. We hit those turtles, and you literally fly in the air.
A ways back. He must catch him dramatically.
Pay attention to 31.
Happens quick.
Guys, that is the biggest problem with that corner, is that it is single groove. You saw he was half a car out of the groove and had no ability to turn that car.
Big crash there.
There's the caution.
Caution comes out. Landon Castle involved.
Heavy damage on the 0-0 of Landon Castle.
So he was running 28th. Also, that's the 96 of Jeffrey Earnhardt.
You see Jeffrey get loose. It's just side by side through the corner is tough here, and it takes the side force off of the inside car. And if you're in that car, you have to be ready and know that and try to anticipate it. Hard to do, though.
And what a huge impact for both of those cars. You see the 0-0 Landon Castle kind of got squeezed into the wall, and both of those guys hit really hard.
We've already seen Jeffrey Earnhardt climb out of the 96.
Look at this right here. It just squeezes Castle. That is a major impact for both drivers.
Tidy on the entry.
Oh.
He's been one of the fastest.
Bubba Wallace with a massive hit there, Steve.
Yes, he did not have a good day yesterday. The bad weekend continues. The difference is we were expecting to see maybe a couple spinouts for Bubba Wallace, but this is a KO. This will not be a return to the action. Man, it's heavy contact on that left front. About says this would be a good shot at right here. Real time. Wow. So, you know, it's inviting, and what people have told me is that if you give up a little there, it costs you all the way around NASCAR 3 and 4. So, and this is what I've been waiting to see, is how quickly this can be repaired. So this 43 car is definitely an issue. Let's take a look. He just gets loose, and he's nowhere to go.
Oh, wow.
And that's a moment that you're thankful that wall is designed to move.
Is correct. Oh, man.
Huge.
Hard contact into the wall. Oh, my God. Huge wreck. The 14 of Clint Bowyer. Look at the damage. 31, Ryan Newman. The 96 of Jeffrey Earnhardt. Man, look at the 14 car. I looked up out the window and saw both cars going up the banking.
What the hell happened there?
And Clint had pitted on lap 301. He had pretty much the freshest tires in the field.
Talk about the closing rate. You know,
Yes.
new tires, old tires, multiple lines. That is such a huge wreck. The 14 was running 12th. The 31 was up in the side of the top 10 in the 6th position. Oh, man. It's very clear to me the 31 was coming to pit road, and Clint Bowyer had no idea. He had no idea the 31 was pitting. Heavy contact. Man, look at this right here.
Clint Bowyer hit
Hard twice.
twice. He hit way hard.
Yes, the last hit's the worst because all the crumple zones and everything, the absorbing impact stuff is already absorbed the first impact.
This is a big hit.
Oh.
Jeffrey Earnhardt sliding in there.
This one right here is not much better.
No, this is the worst one because he's already got so much damage.
Look at that wall, how much that wall moves when he makes contact.
I mean, normally you would expect, you know, maybe see a hand waving out the window, but the difference is in speed. He had to be so far behind him on the backstretch, he probably couldn't even see the 31 when he was on the backstretch.
Yeah, what these spotters will typically do is I mean, in a race like this with this type of situation, they would be extremely vocal with either hand signals or some sort of a system to be able to help each other understand who's coming to pit road and when. But this stuff happens so fast.
I mean, clearly, Clint had no idea that Ryan Newman was coming onto pit road.
Boy, he is, and he is right up against that wall, but he made the pass. Oh, trouble.
Hard in the wall goes William Byron.
Noses in
Oh.
heavy.
Byron went in hard.
Oh. Matt Kent's has piled into Byron right to the 14 car right at the end there. 24 set down here on fire. 37, the 1. That was a huge wreck.
Chris Buescher involved.
You can see William moving around a little bit.
That's Ty Dillon.
There. He's out of the car now.
Matt Kenseth and William Byron climbs out after an incredibly hard hit.
I'm not sure what happened, but remember, William only took 2 tires.
Oh boy, they're 4 wide there.
Byron on the bottom.
He just gets loose underneath
he just
the
starts
14.
spinning out, gets into the.
Man, it just.
Oh my gosh, the car almost went over.
Just hooked, nosed in.
How many times have we seen a car land on top of Ryan Newman?
Ryan Newman? Yep.
I mean, that's 2 or 3 times I can remember.
Too many.
Remember, he was with McMurray down in Talladega when that happened.
Matt Kenseth climbs from his car. He's okay.
That much damage, that kind of impact, it sure is good to see William Byron climb out of that car.
It is, and this is hard into the outside wall, and then it gets
Dillon
rammed.
out of his car. Jamie McMurray has climbed from his number 1. Chris Buescher, moving around in his car, has not yet climbed out.
Huge impact.
Race. Oh, hard into the wall is the 43. Bubba Wallace slams the wall. That car at full speed. And that is the greatest view we could possibly see. The window net coming down. This was a massive hit.
It's in turn 1, which is the end of that long front straightaway. We talk about how fast they enter turn 1, over 200 miles an hour. When something happens.
And we've heard people talking about brake issues and having an issue with brakes. The speed at which we saw Bubba Wallace just hit that wall, it almost looked as though he didn't have brakes. Oh, no brakes.
Not a fan of this, Rick. I've seen this before. Jeff Gordon and I were here. We had a brake failure. He took that same left-hand turn. Dale, you have to assume, seeing the 43 down in the left in the grass, he's trying to do anything to slow that car down. And what a heavy, heavy impact into that safer barrier.
Yeah, that is the most frighteningest feeling that a driver can have when you have no control, either no brakes or no control of your car, and such a long distance to travel before contact with anything. It's just really frightening. He's sitting here knowing that he's going to not be able to avoid hitting the wall and doing everything he can to figure out a way to knock as much speed out of the car as he can and take the longest route possible to that inevitable impact. So I'm glad to see him drop that window net.
Look at McMurray. He has a big run down.
Oh, we got one spinning.
And it's McMurray.
Got it. Wreckage.
Man, that thing is flipping, rolling.
That car is junk.
You got that right.
Well,
I just hope he's
for a
okay.
ride right
He
there.
had been incredibly fast. He got a huge run off turn 2, caught a pack of cars, made a quick move.
See the 31 of Newman with a pretty good run. No, he maybe cut a tire.
Something happened to that car. It just went around all by itself on the straightaway.
And see, what really set that car over was when Newman hit him on the left side, it lifted the right side up and caught air.
Yeah.
And look at that car come apart against the fence.
It just disintegrates.
I mean, everything did its job of what it's designed to do. The fence kept the car on the racetrack. Car stayed intact.
Watch this car now. It's just gonna turn all by itself right there.
Oh, the left rear. Left rear tire.
Yeah. Right over the top of Newman's car.
Yeah. Newman and Ty Dillon both with a good bit of damage.
And Mike, the 2 fastest cars, the 1 and the 13, were both involved in that accident.
That's right.